welcome to the Roundtable Podcast.
Hey.
We know we have to take a minute for people to tune in, but we thank you anyway for just checking us out. We have some. There's so much going on now here in America. It's just you just take your pick of what you want to talk about. There's so much to talk about right now. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But we just, I guess we just kind of put it together what we want to talk about. More so what's trending than anything. What's been trending has been I think the Ice Cube, obviously the election, obviously the debate between Harrison and Mike and Pence. They did their, I don't know what you want to call it, but it was sort of a debate. How did that go to you guys? Did you guys check that out? Did you see it at Lovely T?
Oh yeah, I did. We brought up a little bit last week, but I love the way Kamala Harris handled herself, and the commentators, they were giving their perspective, and one of the things that the guy said was that people are ready for change. People are always ready for change. That was Obama's campaign, change. But what they're tired of is disruption. And There's a difference in in change and disruption in terms of, the two candidates that are running. I thought that she has become one of my sheroes because the way that she was able to calm herself before she made her statement, but give him a look that, everybody know, like it was, what she was saying, even though they were not words.
Right.
I thought that she handled herself very well. Because one of my concerns was, if she becomes heated and passionate in her statements, will she be seen as the angry Black woman? Because Lady B, they quick to call us the angry Black woman if we show any level of emotion. But it didn't turn out that way. To me, she held herself very well.
Well, to me, I still didn't hear issues. I heard bickering and I heard them criticizing one another. But in terms of the issues, it never, and it always, you heard about fracking, you heard about the abortion, you heard about the, what is her name? The lady that sit on the Supreme Court.
Amy, somebody, Barrett. Is it Amy Barrett?
You heard a little bit about that, but you didn't hear what they would do. You only heard them talk about what they wouldn't do. So I guess, again, I was a little disappointed, but I knew that it wasn't going to be about the issues as much. You don't really know enough unless you go on their website, either one. That's how you will really, really know the issues. But in terms of them speaking, it's like entertainment. I just see entertainment.
One of the things it did for me, because I didn't, when it was like 25 of them running, I really didn't pay too much attention to those debates. So what it did for me was let me know, help me delve a little bit into Carmela's competence, and kind of, what bag she was coming out of. So actually for me, I get what you're saying in terms of diving deep, but I guess my expectation is that because this is political, they're going to be very careful in terms of how detailed or how strongly, like you said, on some issues, they did announce their position and it was clear. But I never really expect to get a whole lot, like you say, like you would on their webpage. I really don't expect to see that in debates. Debates are about showmanship. They are about, who can out-talk the other person. And for that reason, like I said, my confidence actually went up after, hearing her speak, because before I really didn't know. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think that, it's going to be something. It's very interesting. I'm not here to talk about either one of them, obviously, because I can care less about either one. I think they both a joke. From Trump to Joe Biden, I think they both a joke. I think that the thing that bothers me is that you don't see a track record of Miss Harris helping Black people. All you see in her political career or as a prosecutor is prosecuting Black people. And then they showed this one gentleman who had life in prison, and she was the reason the way that could help, and she didn't help the Black guy out. All he needed was, I think, DNA proof, and she didn't allow it to go through. So all I've seen this woman, from what people said, is she's never been a help in the Black community whatsoever. All she's been is a prosecutor prosecuting Black folk. You know what I mean? And that's all I've seen by her record. And I get it. You want to be president now. Maybe she's the. And when they showed her being more of they said she's more liberal than Joe Biden. And then they showed their debates where this woman is so liberal. I mean, she should just been a socialist. You know what I mean? She's more socialist. She has more socialist views than Joe Biden has. And even in her debates, they show her debating Joe Biden in a lot of areas. You know what I mean? They show.
Well, if I'm picking a team, Tone, I don't want people around me that are going to be yes men because we think exactly alike. That's not how you strategically build a strong team. If everybody was Kobe, you know what I'm saying? Like, would you really have a good team? Because all you would have are people who can make points. You wouldn't have defenders who could take the ball. So I think that, the fact that Carmella may lean more towards a more liberal position than Biden, I mean, could very well be true. However, her being in the camp, I think it's okay. I mean, I don't think that she's so convicted in her positions that if she heard something logical or a logical argument, that she wouldn't be willing to think about that and sway or do what's best for the people. I mean, at the end of the day, the socialists do want what's best for the people. It's how they think we should get there. And you start getting in the weeds of that, people tend to think that they pose a threat to our capitalistic society. So I don't know. I mean, that's not enough for me to say, well, I'd rather see different faces, different voices that are similar, but are people of color or people who have a similar lived experience as myself and people that I know in my circle, than a bunch of old, rich, white men who have no idea and never had any idea about what it meant to be a person of color or a woman or poor or, just any of those things in America. So.
Right. No, I mean, I understand. I just think that if we're going to, from this election, from looking at what I'm seeing, I think that we're going to get the same old thing that we've been getting. I don't see anybody that's going to make a difference. I just see that we're going to get the same old conversation. The Black people, things are going to continue going on. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't believe I am. I just think we're going to get the same rhetoric that we've been getting for years. Yeah. And let me state my case to whoever's watching. Antonio Buchel is not voting. I'm not voting for either one of them. My vote, I can care less about voting for either one of them. And it wouldn't matter to me in terms of which one of them get in office. Now, I've heard somebody the other day just say they both on the same, they're two different wings on the same bird. People just don't get it. They flapping and saying they have the same agenda. Neither one of them want it, and that goes into our topic about the ice cube thing.
Yeah. Well, can I ask you real quick before that? Did you get a chance to see so because I want to bring it local? Did you get a chance to see what's his name? John James? Is it John James? And Senator Gary Peters?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe that's something we can just review next week or whatever, because again, local politics are equally, if not more important. And I don't know about you guys, but I was still undecided because my understanding is that John James would be the only second Black person elected to the Senate. I don't know, from Michigan. I'm not sure, but it's some trailblazing stat that he would place himself in if he was elected. And then again, you know what I'm saying, in terms of our race alignment, if you will. I don't have a better term for it. Should I vote? Should I vote because he is a Black man that again has I would hope not, I would think has some type of lived experience, or are his Republican values just too Republican for me? So the debate today was helpful in helping me make a decision on that. So maybe that's something we could talk about.
Well, maybe I need to look at, because here's the thing, right? So for a minute, I've been trying to look at just regular polls that's going up of things that would catch my interest. So when I do go in there, I'm just not voting for the president. You see what I mean? I'm gonna do everything. But here's the thing: I even try to look up stuff that I will be interested in, couldn't even find anything. I mean, I've really been putting in the research to see. I think it's something on school selection, school choice. I think that's being put out there. Where about picking the school that you want to go to. I think that's out there. I think that I guess the major one for me is gun laws, where they talking about the. And that's just me, and I'm not talking about either president, but I mean, like they were saying that, if Joe Biden become president, you might well forget the Second Amendment, just go on his webpage and look what he's talking about. Pretty much removing guns out of your presence, but he's taking slow steps to do it by removing this, charging, if something happened with that gun, charging the owner where they bought the gun from, and just taking off. I think it was I forgot the name of them guns. Automatics. I know it was automatics. They was thinking about not or doing away with those type of guns. And it was a lot more dealing with the Second Amendment. And it was just, I don't know. It's a lot of things that's going to come down the pipeline on both sides of the, there's a lot of things I can't say because we're on social media and I don't want us to get banned. But I want to say, but I don't want to, cause no problems or whatever. But I don't know. You go vote your conscience. I guess that's the main thing. Vote your conscience, what you believe in. I think that's what this thing is all about. Vote. But I do know this. They would say and do anything to get in office. They will say and do anything to get in office. You can guarantee that.
So while we're seeing record numbers of engagement once again, like we saw in 2008, I think the difference this time is, and we've talked about it on this podcast before, is once the election is over and what's who's in is who's in, we still have to hold them accountable for what they said they're going to do. Because like you say, during the election,
that's what they do.
They'll say anything to get in that office. But right. And that's the beauty of democracy. whether we like it or not, is that yes, you have the president, but the president has to get approval from the Congress. And, then you have the Supreme Court that can be the equalizer, when there's a dispute. So you have these different bodies of government that are meant to be, checks and balances for each other. And so again, even if Trump wins, if most of the states go Democrat in the House, that's going to set up a certain dynamic, vice versa. So that's the beauty of democracy. And to me, that's why voting still counts. Because if you can get a Biden in and you can get a Democratic Congress in, then, Congress is still going to hold Biden accountable. We're not just going to go totally socialist. But again, that's the beauty of it. It's not just one person, it's all the pieces and how they interplay with each other that make the democracy process so great. And I just wanted to get in Precious Parker. Thank you for joining us. And she commented, I think we fail in spot ways by voting for people just because they are Black.
Well, I mean, it could be some. Well, I'll say it like this: there is a lot of uninformed voters. There's a lot of them out there, and I'm gonna tell you what the target is. The reason why we have the numbers that we have out here voting right now, is because of the crazy things that Donald Trump has said. Donald Trump actually has done this to himself. I mean, he actually have. I listened. I was listening to one of his thing. He was somewhere. I don't know who he was. I can't believe he said this. And this guy, he said that, he was talking about the suburban women. Oh, I love suburban women. And he said, did you hear that? What he said? He said, come on, suburban women, why don't you like me? I saved you, or something. Well, no, this what he said. He said, don't quote me on it because I can't say it directly, but he said something to the degree, they wanted to tear down the Lincoln, I think it was the Lincoln Memorial or something like that. And he said, which they would not do. He said, right now, Abraham Lincoln will be turning over in his grave. Or he said, Abraham Lincoln would have been said, I thought I tried to help you people, or something like that. I mean, I just thought that was terrible. I mean, that was a racist statement. Yeah, I mean, that was, I mean, he said that Lincoln would be like, I thought I helped. I thought I was on you side. Yeah, something like that. He said he thought he was on you people's side or something like that. But I just thought that was terrible. And see, here's the thing. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Our president, 45, was at a rally having people cheer on lock Gretchen Whitmore up, lock her up. They were chanting, lock her up. This is not 10 days after this woman's life was threatened with this militia that you out here inciting and rallying up the crowd to lock her up. Are you like, this is insane. This is insane. Yeah, it's like a big hype, like I don't know, like some entertainment type of, like this whole presidency thing had turned into a entertainment thing. That's what it seems like to me. I don't know. Well, to me, I'm gonna just be honest. It doesn't seem real. It seems like a movie that's being produced, and our presidents and vice presidents, they're all actors in this movie. That's what it seems like to me, and we just buying it. Yeah, we're buying it because it's not real. It seems so unreal. The other day I was laying there in my bed and I was looking at it, and I just said, wow. I think they have an awesome producer that's in office that's giving them, because see, here's the thing, I'm gonna be honest. A lot of things that he says, It just don't make sense to a normal person to say this. Now, here's the thing. It's okay. You ever seen that person to say, "I'm gonna act so bad," as in my acting role, where they're gonna run to you and want you in office because of how bad you are? To me, that's like what I see. I see this man do, and then with the when he said he had COVID, and when he came home and he took the mask off like he was a superhero, like he took the mask off like he was a superhero, and he stood up like real tall. It was, to me, I'm like, this stuff is not real. This stuff got to be made up. I mean, I don't believe people can believe. Listen, you would not get my vote. I'm not buying tickets to this movie. I don't want the tickets to this movie. I don't want the ticket to this movie because that's what I see. I see a movie going on and we buying into this movie.
Absolutely. Now, and it's such an insult to the American people because basically he said, hey, all I got to do is get out here and do some showmanship and I'll get the votes. People don't care about the real issues. People don't care about, intelligent conversation and debate. All I got to do is get out here and draw on their emotion, and I got them. And that's how he's played his platform to me. Precious Parker once again says, "Listen, with Trump, we know who our enemy is, and I prefer that over someone pretending."
Yeah, I am too. I'm gonna be honest. I am too. I'm that same guy. But my thing is that it just seemed like, I mean, I'll be glad when this is over.
Me too.
Yes.
It's gonna be over. That's gonna be the next act. This is just scene one.
Well, I guess for me, it's just more so just the presidency thing. I'll be glad when this is over with. Because now, it is people whispering in the air and saying if he's elected, boom, boom, what they gonna do. You hear a lot of that bull crap that's been speaking. I mean, there's a lot of people talking about Trump better become president. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who saying this. Trump better become president. But my thing is that all I'm saying is, I think that we all are buying tickets to this show. Because if you can't tell that this is a show, these things are not normal. They're not normal behavior. Nobody wants to not become president. I mean, it's so easy to remedy. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. If, again, like I said last week, I believe if Donald Trump never mentioned anything about Black people, he wouldn't become, they're coming after Donald Trump because he's a racist to people. And they're coming more after him on that than they is about, even the COVID, they're coming at them after the COVID. I think the COVID and him being what people perceive, because I'm just the commentary, I shouldn't have an opinion, but I'm just saying that they're coming after him being racist, and it's coming after him because of COVID. If those two things were never were said, and Trump stayed in the limelight with Hollywood football player, rappers like he used to do, he would still be it wouldn't be an issue of him still being president. Because if anybody can really think about it, you can't say how he's changed your position in terms of how you're living and your lifestyle since he's been president. You can't, anybody, please tell me, how have Donald Trump changed how have you gotten worse or better since he's been president? I really want to know this, other than being racist, so-called racist, or this COVID thing that everybody, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't know 100% if I can put him at fault. I just don't believe that I can put him in.
Listen, that's what defines leadership. That's what defines leadership. It's not how you get there. Well, once you're there, it's times like these when we are in crisis, that a true leader steps up and leads the way, and judgment can be placed. I mean, and with each president, there's a different crisis. You know what I'm saying? Like from, Reagan, when we had the what was it? The war, the Iraq war, was it Iran? Whatever, one of them. I'm sorry. But you know what I mean? Like with each presidency, with Obama caught bin Laden, like, Bush had 9/11. Like with each presidency, there's a catastrophic level crisis that occurs. And it's like how you deal with that is what either, history will say you were a good leader or you were awful. And so Trump's test, if you will, was COVID, was the civil unrest, was, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't the other issues. And so how he played these things could have really either, like you say, solidified his position. But, I guess you only can give what you have to give. In his TV show, we only see him for about 2 minutes at the end of the show when he say you fired. When you have unlimited access to Twitter and media, you know what I'm saying, who you are is going to come out. People can't control that. And like I say, unfortunately, the type of leader that we needed for these specific types of crises was one of compassion, one of empathy, one of, you know what I'm saying, of the ability to bring people together and not be divisive and polarizing. And he was that. He is that. And that's why he continues to be an unsuitable leader in my book. Now, maybe in a different kind of crisis, he would have been great, but that wasn't the crisis that was presented to us in these last 4 years.
I guess my thing is that I don't know if I was to look back. That's why I'd be glad when this is over with. This election is over with, because my mind is from my understanding, when you look at Joe Biden, I don't know if he should be president if they were to go out and find another Democrat and put him in. This man, his mind doesn't seem to be all the way there. His thinking process, and no shame on him. It just doesn't seem he's not. I don't know if he's healthy enough to make decisions on this presidency for 8 years. How old is this guy? He's
78, and Trump is 74, and he's 78.
They both.
So regardless, either of
But
they both old.
I'm not leaving out. Trust me, I'm not leaving out Donald Trump. But my thing is with Donald Trump is this. I only believe that people are not siding with him only because they look at him as a racist. And they look at this COVID situation. And I think that's the only reason that they're not voting for Trump, is because he does these stupid things. He says these stupid things.
Isn't that enough? You saying that's the only, isn't that huge? Isn't that huge that you have the leader of the free world making stupid choices? If that's not enough to say he's not fit to be president, what is?
Well, I don't know what comment.
Well, I had a comment for Precious. She said he has helped small businesses. We are paying less taxes under the new tax law he put in motion.
See, there's a lot, and but
because of COVID and the way he handled COVID, your business open right now, fully open. Your business making money fully.
Well, here's the thing, though. Sometimes we have to take our emotions. Listen, here's the thing. Everybody knows somebody that was racist. You probably even worked under somebody that was racist. I've heard people tell their stories about how they work for racist people. But guess what? I don't care about racists. You know what I care about? I care about what's on that document.
If we didn't have the civil unrest that we had in the nation, I could see you. I could, you know what I'm saying? Like I could see you. I can maybe see your point a little more. But again, in light of the fact that we are so polarized right now, you know what I'm saying? Like that becomes critical. You know what I'm saying? So how can you continue to put your head in the sand and say I don't care about the fact he don't have to like me, just continue to give me tax breaks on my small business. But the truth and the reality is it don't work like that, because guess what? The people that he gonna put in his cabinet are gonna be like-minded people like him. And then what you think might be a small tax break is gonna get filled, it's gonna get what's the word I'm looking for? So caught up in every freaking thing else that you're still not gonna get the full benefit like your white counterparts. Like I don't.
No, I agree with. Don't think I don't agree with you, because I totally agree with you. I'm just saying that I believe that we should vote.
Okay, go ahead.
I just believe we should vote by looking at not what. I mean, I get it. I mean, our reputation and character, it matters.
And what about the plan, though? The platinum plan, which we're gonna get into in a moment.
Well, we're gonna talk about the platinum plan, but now here's the thing. Here's the thing. From what I'm understanding, Ice Cube, I don't know if he's doing this, if he's plotting this, I don't know. But I know that I know that this man.
That's why he getting backlash.
I actually forgot what I was. Oh, this is what I was about to say. What I was about to say was that I understand that Cube supposedly went to the Democratic Party,
and they said later on.
And they said later on after the election. And the Trump party said, hey, come on in and let's see what you're talking about. I mean, I guess my thing is that the proof, I don't know if the proof is in the pudding. I can't say that if the proof is in the pudding, but I do know the signs are there. Anytime you, as a so-called black woman, have disregard as a prosecutor, black people, being in office, here's your chance to make a difference on both of their sides. I'm even with Joe Biden on this. Joe Biden had time, 8 years, in fact, to show that he's in love with black people.
Right.
He had 8 years to do that. And my thing is, the only thing we see is Donald Trump is a racist. That's all we see. And
no, because Biden was critical to the federal legislation that funded what was that act? What is that act? It funded programs for like domestic violence, women against violence, or not women against violence, but yeah, VOCA. Anyway, but so on paper, Biden does have a record of, even if it wasn't just outright, oh, I love you, black people, you know, some of the things that he championed and that he helped push through to get funded impacted people that I serve every day when I go to work. And I ain't working with rich folks by any means. I'm working with the downtrodden and the disenfranchised and the marginalized. And so some of that legislation helped a lot of those people. And again, that could just be a fundamental difference in philosophy. Some people think like if you have a small business and Trump tax cuts or tax, structure changes helped you, then obviously you're gonna feel like, like he did something for you. But
that's true. But that 1994 crime bill hurt him.
Well, but that was Clinton. That was under Clinton's administration, and again, I don't disagree with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't disagree with that. But when you have him in conjunction with Carmela, in conjunction with who's at the helm now, you know what I'm saying? Like you live and you learn, And again, like I said, Tom, regardless of who, Trump or Biden, whoever is in office, it is our responsibility to hold them accountable to what they say they're going to do.
Isn't it too late? When it be too, it's too late when they're already in office. And then they can always fake you out and say, "Hey, listen, next year, next 4 years, I'm gonna listen to what you said." Little Lady T, love you T. I remember that you voted for me, and guess what? I'm gonna listen to what you said. After 4 years is up. The next 4 years, I got you, girl. I'm listen, because I need you and all. What did you say you wanted? Okay, I got you. I mean, that's what they do. That's the game that they play. They always want to help you when they in their last 4 years of office.
Yep.
I mean,
last year.
That's when and then they never help you. Then the next person come on to the show.
Hey, I got you.
But now I am going to go on record and say this. And again, I'm not beating up Democrats. Don't think that I am. I'm talking for me. I'm not beating up Democrats. But all I know is that Democrats have been running. Chicago has been shot up. Democrats running Detroit is in trouble. Any area, rural area, you see Democrats running, and there's a mess in those cities. So my thing is, even on a local standpoint, it's just being ruined. It's been terrible. It just been terrible.
Yeah, but is that so? Again, I asked, like, I mean, and it's complicated. It's complicated because when you look at cities like Detroit, Chicago, Baltimore, now you could probably name a few others throughout the country that are heavily populated by Blacks. None of this stuff works in a vacuum. And so these are cities that have been systematically victimized by systemic racism. They've been redlined. The whites decided we're going to pull out. And then when they pulled out, property values dropped. And they decided we're gonna buy this property up and we're just going to sit on it. And then when we're ready, we'll push everybody. We'll push all the people that have been faithfully in these downtown areas and push them out to the suburbs. And then we're going to come and we're going to build $500,000 condos and move back downtown and you know what I mean? And get a huge profit because we were able to buy it so low. I mean, so the games that they play, and I don't even know where I was going with that point, but yeah.
I don't know.
And you know what? We have an interesting group today, so I'm gonna just put that out there. But I want to say to the person that said something about have faith that God is gonna put the right president in for us. And I will say, and I'm not a Bible person, so Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there's something in the Bible that says faith without works is.
Yeah, that's true. Now, see, I'm past the part. Well, the Bible says you should pray for your president, and what you should be praying for in office. But I'm past that part. You know what I mean? Because see, my thing is, we say that, but we are the same people who let and I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna jump back out there. I'm for choice. But we know this man said that he would let what is that? Roe v. Wade, whatever. What is that?
Roe v. Wade. Mm-hmm.
He will let that be what is that? Where it's permanently off the land, whatever they call it. This was what Joe Biden said. He'll let it be the land where it'll just be here permanently. Now, but this the same guy. And Kamala Harris just said that she's for woman choice. I mean, I understand that's debate. I get that, but here's the thing: these are the same people that we'll bring in our churches. And the Bible says about the shedding of blood, but you still bring this guy in your church. How can you preach a sermon out of the Bible, but yet you bring in someone who go against the Bible? But you bring them into your church.
But Tom, I don't really see, and I know that abortion is such a slippery slope in terms of people who are for or against it. But I think the first misnomer is even like the title of the fight. So you're either pro-choice or pro-life. So what does that mean? I mean, people it seems like people are saying you're either for abortion or you're against abortion. And to me, that's not the fight. That's not the two issues at hand. We're talking about people having a choice versus people not having a choice. And to me, if that was articulated better, then to me, it would come across in a different way. Because I feel like you said, if your church it believes in, is a pro-lifer, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand why pro-choice can't be the overarching, you see what I'm saying? Like, everybody should have a choice. And under that choice, you can either choose to feel like, abortion is absolutely wrong and I would never do that. Or you can choose to say, you know what, because of my reasons, I choose, this is my body, I choose to do this. To me, in America, a place that we have built upon the pursuit of happiness and all this, that, and the third, why is choice being villainized? Just because you say you want a person to have a choice does not automatically equate to, I don't think that people should have, I don't think that abortions are right. But come on, let's give people the opportunity to make that choice for themselves. If I don't want to go to a Baptist church, I don't have to. I can choose to be Protestant, Methodist, evangelistic, hell, Muslim. I can make that choice as an American. But to control a woman's body and reproductive body, you know what I'm saying, I think is totally wrong. You should not have control over my body.
Precious.
But you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I struggle with that too. I agree with you on that. I do agree with you. But here's what I struggle with. I'm gonna tell you what made it a little easier for me. When I would hear just over TV, and I would hear just different people say the reason why they got an abortion was that they felt that they wasn't ready for the child. Or it would be things, or the boyfriend would say, no, we ain't ready for, but you have sex and you use a condom.
And we know that the brain does not fully develop until age 24. So guess what? Young kids make dumb choices. Young kids make poor decisions. And I'm not saying that you use it as birth control, but what I am saying is that why are we taking that very individual choice? Why do we want to take that away from the individual? And then here's the thing, Tone. It's not, now, do I believe that the government should pay, you know what I'm saying, should pay for all abortions under all circumstances? I get it if the government says, well, you know what, we're only going to pay for this if it falls under these circumstances. If it's emergency or rape or whatever, we only gonna pay for it. Okay, I get that. But to me, that's where the government ends. That is a personal choice. And what's gonna happen if you really think because you put on the books that something has become illegal, that it's gonna stop happening, then your head is in the damn sand. What's going to happen is that women are going to resort to more lethal, unsafe means of ending their unwanted pregnancies. And then you're going to have not only the baby at risk, but the mother too. So this is just.
But let me ask you this. Do you think that we should come up with programs? We should kick out, what's the name of that? Bullcrap, abortion clinic. Planned Parenthood is only in Black communities, helping to support killing and demise of our Black babies. But my thing is this: shouldn't those same dollars that's been allocated in that program, millions of dollars that's been put in that program, shouldn't it be that same thing when we come up with programs that will assist that mother to, if that mother wants to put that baby up to somebody who can't have kids or somebody who actually love kids, and they take that baby on just because you said, oops, I made a mistake, almost like you bought the wrong shoes. You want to take them back. You treating the baby this way. You say, we had sex and, I'm just going to have
okay. And then when legislation comes around, for welfare, okay, then I and I'm not saying you personally, I'm saying those who are just like want to put restrictions on a woman's body and tell her that she must have a child regardless of her circumstance, then I hope when on the flip side, when it's time for you to pay for that child throughout life, okay, because the mother never wanted the child or was ill-equipped, or maybe she was addicted on drugs. And now, oh, the cute idea of adopting a baby who was addicted to crack, heroin, and is going to be a special needs child, and the government going to have to pay for them too. Don't come at me or us who believe in choice that program needs to be cut or that funding needs to be cut. And these are just lazy people that don't want to get up and pull themselves up with their own bootstraps. Don't give me that. You can't have it both ways. And I'm so sorry that I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Obviously, this is a passionate topic for me. Yeah. I just feel like, again, the same people that are like, oh, because I see it in the comments. Well, adoption is a choice. Condom is a choice. Okay, again, there are so many factors. You cannot take a broad brush and think that it's always this ideal situation where the mother is just being promiscuous or whatever, however you have pictured this woman in your mind, and the easier choice is for her to just go through with the pregnancy. I'm sorry, that is not the case. There are so many unique situations that's why it should be that unique situation that determines that outcome. God will deal with it. Now, I'm not overly religious and I'm not in the Bible, but guess what? Sin is sin. And at the end of the day, the only person you have to answer to is God. So guess what? If I made the wrong decision, God will contend with me. And if I ask for forgiveness, it is up to God to forgive me, not you and nobody else. And so that's why.
I understand. I understand totally what you're saying. I'm in agreement with you in terms of the choices. But my thing is, does it have to spark from that? I mean, from you, because you laid around.
But Love Web said this. Love Web said, I'm gonna say it again. She said condoms break and people get raped.
That's right.
People.
Well, here's the thing. See, that's what my mindset. That's what I struggled with for a long time. I was struggling with. Okay, God, I understand that you gave us, and I want to know the truth. I don't want to know. I'm not into popular belief. I want to know what the truth is. So in my mindset, I was struggling with. I was like, okay, Father, you did give us the choice to choose. It's even in your Bible, you say, choose this day who you will serve. So you did give us choices, and it should be up to us. But should we fund it? See, that's my thing. Hold on, let me say it here. Should we fund it? Or this thing to happen, knowing that this was your decision. Now, in a person who've gotten raped, I get it. I understand, and that's where my mind try to form this and shape it. This hat to say, okay, what do you do then? Because that's not fair. If she do get raped and you're making her have a baby that she don't want to have, and this is a nightmare when she probably see this baby because she got it on her own terms. But now that also happens when you go out on a date and have an affair where you get pregnant. That also happens when you messing around with the wrong person, because I guess clearly you don't want to have the baby because you have an abortion, whether you raped or not. I guess I don't know if that actually cuts away from the fact that it's still killing the child. You're still killing a baby, where even when you go through the pregnancy, you can still put that child up for adoption or reach out to other people. I mean, I
want you to maybe producer, I don't know, somebody can look up the current statistics in the city of Detroit or even the state of Michigan in terms of how many children we have currently waiting in the foster care system. Waiting to be adopted, Black children, little Black babies, waiting, and end up in institutions, end up going out there engaging in what's called survivor sex, because they age out of the foster care system. No one ever adopted them, and they lack the skills. Now, I'm not saying, like, I agree. I think we have come to a middle ground, Tone, you and I, in terms of the funding, because I agree with you. Like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? And again, one of the commenters said, pick a side, adoption, not murder. Again, advocating for pro-choice is not advocating for everybody to go out and get an abortion. It's merely advocating that legislation stays out of the control over a woman's body. That's what pro-choice is about. It's not saying because I'm pro-choice, I'm pro-adoption. It's merely saying legislators stay out of my business when it comes to my body. And if the legislators in turn say, well, guess what? We're not going to pay for it. And so, like I say, I agree with you. I don't see anything wrong with that. If they say we're only going to pay for extenuating circumstances, or we're only going to, pay for these types of abortions, but anything else, we're not going to pay for it. To me, that's a fair compromise. But don't tell me what I can and cannot do with my body.
Right. I mean, that's the only part that gets me, having been sympathetic towards the woman that has been raped, who has been raped, and it wasn't her fault, and this is what happened. But I do think that just because they put so much money in these places for abortions,
Mm-hmm.
they can come up with better or more, put money
More
into programs.
too.
Yeah.
Even like Kanye West said, if you had the baby, I give you $20,000. I'm just talking in general. Like, have some incentive for these people for these women to not get rid of these babies.
Now, I'll be honest.
Agree. And you know what? That was one of the things that John James brought up that I found very interesting, because, he's Republican, he's pro-life, but he was like, I think more money could be put towards like the morning after pill, fair pay, things that put women, especially women who are marginalized, in a position of empowerment, and I do think that is a very good point. And again, like I always say, we can chew gum and walk at the same time. It don't have to be this or that. My main concern with Roe versus Wade is that if it is overturned, that legislation will legislate women's bodies. And historically, like not just with Blacks, with Hispanic women too, they have forced sterilization. They have done so much to women's bodies without women's consent. This is
There's been more women. It's been more of color than anything else. And see, that's another thing why I'm so against it, because I know who it targets. I know, and they don't do anything when they pushing money. Why are you pushing so much money in here for abortions? I mean, what is the reason? What is the real reason? I think there's always the underscore under these type of situations that we just don't talk about. I don't think that they actually care that much about African-American, Latino women bodies, that here's the truth. I think there's a purpose. I think it's purposely done, because you can save a life just like you can take a life. You can save their life. Yeah, she might have to go through the pregnancy. But listen, other than you being raped, did nobody tell you to lay down with this person, whether it's an affair or not? No one told you not to protect yourself. I'm not talking about the ones who've gotten raped. That's a whole different conversation. But I'm talking about the ones who just made that choice to say, hey, this shouldn't have never happened. So now let me run up here to the clinic like I'm going to the corner store to buy a pop. You get what I mean? Let me run over here and get this abortion real quick. Like, it's so trending now. It's like a trend. Oh, I ain't got to work, girl. Sure, I'm just gonna. Hey, you need to pay for this abortion. No, I shouldn't pay. No. You made that mistake. Yeah, it was a mistake, but you made it. If that wasn't. But I don't want to say if that would have happened to me, because it hasn't happened, and so I'm just playing the game. So we can move forward. I guess my thing is,
that's a slippery topic. It's a heated topic.
No, it is. It really is. Yeah. But I tell you what, it's population control. I believe that. I really believe that. So I think it's more than meets the eye when it comes, only because it's more in communities such as us, dark people. You know what I mean? It's not, it's not in West Bloomfield, I don't believe. It's not in all of the high areas. And it doesn't mean that they don't get it done. It just means that it's rolled out in our communities, and it's
like corner stores, like you said.
Like a liquor store.
How it's a liquor store.
Listen, guys, and Lady B, can you read Miss Webb's comment?
Which one?
Because
what you don't know is it that a lot of white young women get more abortion. It is just not put on the books because a lot of their daughters and a lot of their nieces are sleeping with black men.
Yep. The thing is that they target. But they target. You can even go back to the woman who started it. She was a racist. The woman who started Planned Parenthood was a racist. She was a racist. She was against black people. See what I mean? So,
well, we didn't have, but I mean, I can't contest that because I have seen research.
She said it.
And let me say, I don't think that abortion should be the answer, especially now that you do have like the Plan B where you can go and purchase something. Like you said, after making a poor decision, you can go and purchase something over the counter that will prevent you, from being pregnant. And, so I do agree that there has to be a lot more education in our, marginalized communities. There has to be more value because again, I don't think the men should be excused from that responsibility either. And it's, we keep talking about legislating control over women's bodies, but what if we made that for men? What if it was the men instead? What if we said all boys had to get we were talking about on one of our shows the male birth control where they got to get a shot in their penis, and we had to make all the boys from the ages of 16 to 21 get that to prevent women from getting pregnant. Then we would probably be talking a whole different, I hear absolutely crickets when it comes to legislation or legislating men's bodies and reproductive systems. But as long as it's being done to women, it's up for grabs. It's up for debate. That's BS.
But I don't think that I think it still goes back to the same thing. It is what it is. It's still you're making a bad decision when you can just buckle up. You can cover up. What was his statement? Read that again. This is one of the things that was said from, I guess, the owner. Can you read that? Can you see that?
It says, all of that. Oh, maybe I am not objective when it comes to Planned Parenthood, but I know who Margaret Sanger is, and I know that she believed in eugenes, and that she was not particularly in no more with black people. And one of the reasons you find most of their clinics in the black neighborhoods is so that you can find a way to control that population. I think people should go back and read about Margaret Sanger, Sanger, who founded this place. A woman, Hillary Clinton, by the way, says that she admires. Look and see what many people in the Nazi Germany thought about her.
Okay, so you just do the research yourself and you find out on your own that this. I did the research. I think I even got a video of her even saying that she talked about black people. Now, why would you even start this? What would be your reason? You are racist. You put it in those communities because you don't want them to have babies. They've been coming after us for so many years. Listen, abortion is really about black folks. That's what I believe. I don't believe we know everybody else have it, but it's targeted towards black communities so that they won't produce reproduction in terms of kids, having kids, but they also think we having too many of them as it is, and it is costing us the welfare system. But I mean, that's just not. I don't believe that's just for black people. I believe that's for whites, blacks, whoever. But all I'm saying is why would you be a racist and you be the one over the Planned Parenthood, and you get all these dollars. And listen, Democrats, some Republicans have donated, sent money to her too. It's not just been Democrats. It's just, Hillary just got found out. The rest of them been donating money. I don't know if Trump have. I don't really know if Trump have, but I guess it's just a whole lot of stuff going on, and I think it's more than meets the eye to this situation. And a lot of people say if Kamala Harris is elected, she's going to be one of the most dangerous women in the world. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't know if it's true or not, but I do understand the track record of her being a prosecutor. That was the time to help black men out. If they were wrong, they were wrong. But I'm saying, how much did you actually really look into? Look at what's going on with the case with what's her name, with Breonna Taylor and that prosecutor, and how there was evidence that was suppressed that they never gotten on the other cops. Look at that. I mean,
and you know what? It just so happened that we did. We had a I was engaged in a conversation where there was a cop that was talking, and he was saying that if we had all the facts about the Breonna Taylor story, we wouldn't be so quick to jump and yell foul, because there were things that were not said that they couldn't say because it was an open investigation. So the narrative leaned a certain way, but again, though, going back to the bodies, to the legislation of the bodies, I just don't understand why we can't have the same campaigns of, pro-life campaigns that are out there under a pro-choice environment. Because if you want, just like the presidents have to convince us of who we should vote for, like everything is up for influence. And so the pro-lifers, it's like, go ahead with your campaign. Go ahead and do what you do, but do it where you're convincing the minds of the people to choose a certain way. You're not legislating that it go a certain way. And that's my hugest issue is that piece. It's not the judgment of it. It's not the Christianity, values of it. It's just keep government out of, and like you were saying, do the research. I know within the last 4 months, there was a state down south, and I read it, but it's been a while, so I can't remember the specifics. But they actually got to put a law on the books where it was illegal. It was illegal to get an abortion. In 2020, So anyway, I just think that's where the line is for me.
Choices, when they start taking our choices away, with like you can't, come in the store without, like right now without a mask. What about when they start saying, if you don't get this vaccination or you don't, that's taking our choices away. What if they implement this as a legislator saying what's the difference in choice? And isn't our choices getting taken away bit by bit anyway? I mean, I would think that they are.
Well, you talking about in terms of the abortion?
Yeah, just saying like choices. Like it seemed like our choices are being stripped away bit by bit anyway.
Well, I mean, the thing is that this put a dollar on what's going on, because it's affecting money. Money has been spent when someone has an abortion. Somebody paying out some money. So my thing is, they said over how many a month or a year? 30,000 a year or something or I don't know if it's even higher than that in abortion. And I don't think that those are, quote me if I'm wrong, are rape cases more so than people who just say, hey, let me go to the corner store and get these chips real quick because I'm hungry. It's one of them kind of situations when it comes to, I had this baby. But I digress from that. Okay. But my thing is that we'll move forward even with the Ice Cube thing.
Yeah.
What was said with Ice Cube? Let's read that.
Yeah, let me just pull that up real quick. So basically,
we got a video.
TMZ video.
Let's play the TMZ.
Let's
Let's just play this
real
video real quick before we talk about it. Let's just check this video out.
I think that part of the criticism is that because it's 3 weeks, less than 3 weeks before the election, there are people who think that President Trump has said he's going to do this platinum plan. But what makes you believe that he's actually going to do it, that he's not just saying this in order to get reelected in 3 weeks? And that's the part that makes people feel upset, that they feel you are being used because of your status in the Black community, that he is using you in order to get votes in the Black community, and they feel like he's not going to deliver on this $500 billion promise.
Well, I mean, I know people have their thoughts on being, I'm being used. I'm not being used, because I walked in there, I had the meetings, and I spoke. I've never met Trump. I've never been to the White House. Okay, so I talked to both campaigns like I said I would. I have a contract with Black America that both parties gonna have to get with. We can't depend on one party to bring this through. It's too broad. Both parties is gonna have to get with it. So that's what my mission is, to make sure both parties get with the program. And I'm not here to get you to vote for any damn body. Matter of fact, I was the one saying you shouldn't vote unless you get something for it. So me, I'm personally not getting one thing. I'm trying to make sure that all these trillions of dollars that's being tossed around make it to the Black community, not to the minority community, not to the community of color, not to all these names that throw us in this big old pot, but actually in Black entrepreneurs' hands, into Black people's hands, to create these jobs, because Black is gonna hire Black. So this is what I'm trying to do. And I'm willing to work with anybody that has a remote chance to make that happen. And my thing is, everybody's mad at me, but nobody is asking the Biden campaign, why y'all didn't come up with $600 billion, man? What y'all doing? Where's that 700 billion? We have to expect results. We have to push it. The Democrats have a perfect opportunity to make our dreams come true. And they're telling, let's wait till after the election.
Let's go. Let's cut it in.
You believe them or not? That's not.
But see, that's where I'm at with this.
Mhm.
At least this man is trying.
Mhm.
I'm not saying, I don't know the agenda. I don't know his agenda. I don't know the real true agenda.
Right.
But I can say at least he's trying. And look what this does. Look what this does. What happens is to the people, what happens is that it helps put their feet to the fire. That's what it does. When he bring a contract, whether it be to either party, it puts them, and see, I'm gonna be honest, maybe the Democrats didn't want to accept it because it does put their feet to the fire. Where now here's a contract. See, guys, you just gotta read it between it. Read the tape. Listen, if he knows and it put his feet, the Democrats know if they take what Cube is saying and they win, they're gonna have to come through.
Yep.
And here's the thing: if they do win and they don't do it, that next 4 years
It's gonna be something.
it's gonna be something else, because it was a contract put in front of their face and they didn't come up with it. So that's why they backing off of this, to say, because why you wouldn't take the contract? Just why you wouldn't?
Because they didn't say they wouldn't hear it at all. They just said
After the
after the
election.
election, because they already have a plan for minorities or Blacks in play. And so, and this, I'm just basing off what they said, right? So they didn't say that. Now, to me, it's more suspicious coming from Trump, because Trump knows that he is down double digits right now in the polls.
Right.
And so to make a move like this, I really question, like I think Lady B was saying, I really question the authenticity of his intent to follow through or really, really authentically be concerned about the Black community. I mean, Biden said he was going to put a minority or elect or choose a minority to be his vice president candidate, and he did it. She's there now. So in terms of showing and proving, he did what he said he was going to do. So right off the bat, I have more confidence that they will follow through. If they said we'll talk about it after the election, I have more confidence that that will happen than I do of someone who's making promises in the midst of them trying to get elected because they know they're down in the polls.
But isn't that the same thing that you would say that that's the reason why he'll want to be elected, is that he'll put somebody in there, but who's not fully all the way Black now? I don't want you to be too Black. I just want you to be able to appear to be Black. I don't want her in here because she pro-Black. You get what I mean? My thing is that, yeah, you know what? I'm not surprised that who's running beside Joe Biden. Because they don't want you to be too Black in there. They just want you to appear to be Black, so other Black women and other Black people will say, "Oh, okay." Listen, I'm gonna be honest.
You can say the same thing about Obama.
But exactly. But here's the thing: Black people can truly determine this election. Black people can truly determine this election, and they know that. They know that Black people can determine the outcome of this election. And guess what? I still believe that, here's my thing. I would think that Trump would know that. But so I'm going to be honest. This is the rabbit hole I'm about to travel down. This is what I conclude, right? I think that here we go. I'm about to say this. I believe that, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I'm just throwing it out there. But I believe that they want Joe Biden in office. I believe the powers that be, I'm going to play the conspiracy theory role like I always do. I believe the powers that be want Joe Biden in office. I believe that Trump is an actor like Joe Biden. Yeah. And I believe that he have to pretend to be the worstest guy so you will run and want Joe Biden to be your next president, so that Joe Biden can continue the destruction of America.
Let me tell you something, Tone. Let me tell you that implies that 45 had some level of decency prior to coming to the presidency, and this is just a plan. This is a played part to a bigger plot. But the fact that he only paid $750 in taxes, like, this man has been doing this. His character, who he is who he is, and he has always been that way. The difference is that now he has a bigger platform to carry out how he is. Before, his lawyers, PR, they could kind of, control it, to a degree. But yeah, the fact that in all the years and all the billions of dollars and all the property that you own, you only paid, was it 700 or was it 250? It was some ridiculous damn amount.
I get that.
That's not an act. That's my point. The way he is the way he is. That is not an act.
No, but then let me tell you this. Let's go down there. But do you know there was said that there was nobody in America that wanted to lend him any money. So the article said that he went to Germany, or one bank over there, some bank over there and there was a lot of scandals and things going on. He got a whole lot of money. So how do we know that he has to do what he's doing because of the people that he owes? He got to make these moves. He got to say these things. I mean, I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, we're saying the same thing. The content of his character, because you were saying that, he's acting like, one of your conspiracy theories is that he's acting and in a way that is forcing people to just want to run at top speed over to Biden and vote for him. I'm merely saying that this ain't an act. This is who this man is.
No, I don't think so. I think it's an act because I don't think.
He's an
See,
entertainer.
yeah, right. See, my thing is that I just believe we're drinking the Kool-Aid. I believe that this an act, and when I mean an act so Joe Biden can really be president. I believe these guys know each other. I really believe these guys kick it. Maybe they don't like each other, but they have to play the game. I just believe that, and I believe that we get suckered in to. So here's the thing. I used to make this statement all the time that time is the best truth.
Time is the equalizer. Absolutely.
And we're going to see once this election go. And listen, I don't want to hear no excuses, people.
No.
If he come in office, if Joe Biden come in office, I don't want to hear an excuse from black people. Don't say anything. If you still in the same boat, but he's just not saying that I'm a racist. He just simply.
I don't think that Cube, like the people, like I read some of the tweets, and people are really mad at Cube, and
I don't know why this man just stepping out doing what he feels.
Where's the other black leaders at? Where's like the church leaders? We got black church leaders that have millions of dollars. Where are all these leaders? Why nobody stepping up? Why is it taking that one person to step up there? People mad at that person. I don't get it.
Because his agenda, they're getting something out of it. I believe that whoever wins that party, those people, constituents, whatever you want to call them, I believe that they get something out of because of their hard work. You know what I mean? I'm gonna pat you on the back because your hard work at pumping up why this guy shouldn't be president. Listen, you got something coming. I want to say some names, but I'm just not. You know what I mean? But I believe that they have an agenda. There's something on record for them. But the people like you and me, we are the ones who are getting blindsided. We're getting blindsided. And listen, you haven't really heard clearly any facts about any issues about why I'm running for president. You haven't really heard any of that. Only thing you've heard about was coronavirus and he erases. Guess what? That's all they need to run on. They don't even need to run on. Like Cube said, listen, this man gonna be out of office as soon as the voting starts. You know what I mean? They said, now what? Okay, so after he's out, now what happens? He's out. Okay, he's out. But what happens now? And see, that's my thing. I mean, whether you for him, whether you're against him, listen, let me go on record and say it again. Because I want people to hear this clear. Hear me clear. Because I'm not ashamed of what I'm saying. I'm not voting for either one of them. Hear me on record. I'm not buying tickets to this movie. I refuse to buy tickets. It's a movie I didn't see in the trailer. I don't like the trailer. I know that.
Let me tell you, I wholeheartedly disagree. I think that, I think it's a spit in the face. I mean, we do again, and I'm fragmenting my thoughts because I have a million of them running at once. But I think that we have we can walk and chew gum at the same time. What do I mean when I say that? In this particular context, I mean that we can demand for better leadership and still exercise our right to vote. Not participating in the voting process at all, to me, I mean, and again, like you say, Tone, that's you. I respect your opinion. But for me, it's a spit in the face for everything that everyone has gone through to make sure that we do have an opportunity to engage in this process.
But now, let me ask you this. Is it an opportunity to participate in stupidity? See, here's the thing. So my thing is that you can't keep playing the same game and expect the same outcome. The same game and expect a different outcome. It's not going to come to you. It's not even science. You can't if you want something different, you have to do something different.
That's true.
So now what am I saying? I'm saying is that this same outcome, we don't listen. Do you know the Democratic Party? They say I know in the back of their mind, they're thinking that, you know what, we don't have to run on issues. We could just make some stuff up because they so fed up with Donald Trump that he's so pathetic that they'll just come and all we got to do is talk about coronavirus. Well, I won't say the word. All we got to do is talk about the Rona, and all we got to do is talk about him being a racist, and everything else just gonna happen. I just really believe that's what they believe. They don't have to do, and guess what? Actually, that's kind of true. They don't have to do anything but just keep doing what they're doing right now. Now, do I agree with it? No. I'm you know, and let me, in fact, let me say this. Yeah, no, I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna go. I'm trying to watch my word. But my thing is that I don't know why they're coming after Ice Cube. I don't know why they're coming after this man.
Yeah, because I mean, I did think about it. I thought about it, and I'm like, man, you know, it. Like, if you really do believe that Trump should be out of office, like, why even waste your time? But strategically, you know, and I do think this is where people get so blinded by emotion that they don't allow any time for critical thought before they lash out and start trolling. Ice Cube is about his agenda. So one of the questions was, you know, is he out for self? I don't know that he's out for self. I think he is out for his agenda because he said he made a contract with Black America. So whether it's Trump or Biden that's going to push that agenda forward, his main objective is push the agenda forward.
That's right.
So,
I'm the same way, though. I believe the same way. As long I don't care who president, as long as they can help the agenda of our people, as long as they can come in and help where we're lagging in. You know what I mean? And here's the thing. I'm not looking for them to bail us out. Because I don't think they're here to bail us out. I'm not really looking for them to bail us out. But I just don't think, I'll be honest, I'm more hesitant for Joe Biden being in office because I don't think that he can actually do the job. I really don't believe he can. I don't think he's what it could have been anybody else, but I don't think that this man is equipped to do the job as president and not fall asleep at the table. I mean, I just don't believe it. He called him Sleepy Joe. I mean, the thing is that I just don't believe Sleepy Joe is capable. And guess what? I think most Black people know it too. They just don't want Trump in office.
You're right. I can't even. I mean, after seeing him in a couple of these debates, that's like I was even saying, and I you know, even with the Trump and the Biden debate, like we know Trump is going to be Trump, and so you have to be quick and witty in order to shut Trump down. And Biden was just so kind of like long and paused that he kind of created these opportunities for Trump to just be able to, you know, go in and lash out at him because he was just so like. And Saturday night, I'm going on a tangent a little bit, but Saturday Night Live was on, and they had Jim Carrey playing Biden.
I wanted to see that.
They showed him talking about when I was a boy back in 1932, and then they would come back and he was like, and then when I was, you know, that's the sentiment. Like he just, like you say, cognitively, you know, I think Bernie Sanders, even though I think Bernie is older, has a little more fire and wit than Joe Biden. But I think you're right, Tone. I think it is about get Trump out of office. I think our co-host who isn't here today even said he wouldn't care if it was Chester the Cheetah. It don't matter as long as it's not Trump.
But I'm gonna say this. I think that's what they want you to do. Yep. I really believe that. I think that's what they want you to do. The people of power that be, the bankers, whoever they might be. I think there's an agenda, and it's so Come on, man. Have this ever happened before in any election? I mean, all this wild stuff that's going on. I mean, you know, I believe, it's just my own opinion, I believe that America's being judged. I believe the world is being judged. That's just from my perspective, you know, of the being judged. And I think there's more to come. I don't think we've seen anything yet. I think that after this election, we're going to see a lot more things on the way. I believe that, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna be honest, since I'm already speaking my opinion, I might as well jump out there more, right? I believe that any believer, and all believers, it's just my opinion. I mean, I'm entitled to it, right? I was going to start a podcast up called Just My Opinion. Well, that's all I about, just my opinion. I mean, so it won't violate you. It's just my opinion. Guess what? You can call in and have your opinion. I don't care. But being just my opinion, I don't believe nobody that's a believer should have a voice in this election. That's what I believe. I believe that nobody that's a believer should have a voice in this election. I mean, I know, obviously, contrary to belief, that we will do it because it's the popular thing to do. And I get it. I understand. I understand what's going on. But I just believe that the sand, what is that? It's written in the sand. I believe that it's already been spelled out. This is a divided country.
Yeah. It's not united anymore.
It's a divided country. And it's obvious that it's divided. You know what I mean? And I believe that if there's any Christian values inside of you, that you wouldn't have a voice in this election, because I don't see how you would. I just don't see how you would. These people have shown themselves of who they are on both sides and his 49 years in office. Joe Biden, 49 years in office. You need to be pushed out of office. They need to put you up and carry you out in a wheelchair. You need to go sit down. Now it's time for you to sit down and enjoy your wife. Sit down and enjoy your family. You're going to run the country at this age? And when you listen, what if they give him 8 more years? He'd be what? 78?
He'll be 8.
No, you talking about Biden?
Yeah.
I don't think, even if Biden gets elected, I don't think he's going to do more than one term. Because he'll be 82 in 4 years, 78, 79, 80, 81. He'll be 82 in 4 years.
Now, if he's still, I mean, look at the lady who passed away, the judge. What's her name?
They be want to stay on.
Look how old she was. They don't want to get that spot up. That power is addictive.
It is. And it's sad that as colorful as the candidates were in the Democratic Party, we had an Asian, we had black man, black woman, white woman. Like, it was very diverse. That when you boil the water, drain the noodles, we decided on a 74-year-old white male. I mean, I think, like you say, the country is looking for those who put him in the forefront are looking for some type of normalcy. Because Trump has been such a disruptor. And then, like you said, here's the thing with the current, presidency, not just the president, but the presidency, is like there's so much confusion and internal turmoil. And when I say internal, in country turmoil, that who benefits? Who's benefiting from this, people? Because if they think that what do they call them? If they think that the Taliban and those kind of groups are just sitting by idly, if they think that Kim Jong-un or whatever his name is not over there not building up more bombs, if they think that the world is not taking advantage of our infighting, then people are sadly mistaken. Somebody is benefiting from all of this disruption and confusion that we are going through as a country, and it ain't us. It ain't us.
Right. I agree with you. I agree with you there. But here's the thing. That's why they don't want Trump back in office. They think they don't want Trump back in office. They want Sleepy Joe back in office so he can sleep by the military is trying to call in to tell him, hey, man, you got to wake up. You know what I mean? So, but my thing is that they don't want Trump in office.
Yeah,
They do not want Trump in office, especially China. China hates. I think China don't even like Trump. I think they want this guy out so bad because he's changing the narrative of how the country should be ran and showing that we're not scared of you. We're not scared of this, and I get it. We can get wrapped up in that. I get that, so I don't want to. I digress from that because I don't want you to focus in on China. And all I'm just saying is that we'll see. That's all I can say now. But again, for the third, fourth time, you won't see this blackface voting for either one of those parties.
Now, Lady B, are you voting?
No.
In terms of the presidency.
No, in terms of the presidency, I'm not. But I am going to go in and vote for the different other.
Yeah, and I might just I might close my eyes and do this.
Yeah, right.
No, Tom, you might not. No, that's not true. That is not true.
You know
Good people. That is not true. I have never like
Tiger by his
I guarantee you, even with Sleepy Joe, he is not going to incite chaos like the way 45 does. And that's the part I can't believe. Like,
he's going to be too sweet. That's why.
No, he probably won't.
Be too sweet.
But I mean, I guess I wasn't around in the 60s, but right. I'm just saying, like, the level of civil unrest, the level of polarization that is current in this country, and a president that incites people to lock a governor up who just had a death threat on her life. Like, we cannot, as Americans, say that this is who we choose to represent us. No, we cannot, people. We deserve better. And I'm not saying Sleepy Joe is the answer, but Sleepy Joe is the way out of the current state. Like I said, one term for Sleepy Joe. That's all he gonna get. And then after that, maybe that'll give both parties time to groom a better candidate for all Americans. But we certainly know it's not Trump, and he does not deserve another 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, he can't run no more after the 4, so it ain't really, to me, it don't really matter. I don't know. I'm just, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. We'll see what the outcome be.
Yeah, we will see.
We'll see what the outcome is going to be. Again, you vote your conscience. If I had to be responsible on this platform, what I would say, I said, if I had to be responsible on this platform, what I would say to you, to the people that are watching, vote your conscience, but at the same time, look at the issues. Don't just vote because you don't like a person. Vote because of the issues. If you're concerned about the gun law, then maybe you should get out there and vote. If you're concerned about life or pro-choice, abortion, you should get out there and vote. If you're
concerned about Obamacare, and having pre-existing conditions and still being able to have access to health care or not, go out and vote.
And you should vote. But look at the issues. If you about fracking, about energy, what fracking deals with. Whatever it is, vote because of those reasons.
Not just because.
Don't vote because a person you just don't like them. Vote because of those reasons. Make it a reason why you're voting. Because that means that you're concerned and you have a concern about an issue, and it's just not caught up in emotion. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we see what's going on in this country, but we see what's going on. And now here's my last thing. I'm gonna tell you what I believe about these racist people that's connecting to Trump. I think that Trump, the reason why he don't back down on them is because he know that's his election. He know he can't go against these people because these people are voting for him. It's almost like you stuck. You're like, if I say something, maybe they're gonna go to Joe Biden, so I gotta keep this thing going. And I believe that's what I believe he's doing what most people would do. I'm gonna be honest. If most people had a certain people and they want to stay in house, they're not going to disrupt it so much. They're going to say words, but they're not going to disrupt it so much because these people are voting for me. I'm not going to go against them, even if I, kind of ride the fence a little bit because I want their votes. I want to stay in as president. So I get what's going on. I mean, that's what I believe. I believe that if he denounced people, he for sure won't be elected because these right-wing people, and these different people that's out here. I don't want to say their name to give them praise, but they're looking for a new country, a new world, and they don't. And I don't think we are involved in that world. So, but my thing is that on both, and I believe that's on both sides of the fence.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Whether it's Democrat or Republican, I just believe that that's why he's not going to denounce them to the degree.
Somebody
that
just said here, I was going down my timeline. It said Black people are more concerned with which white man to vote for than reparations.
That's true. That's 100% true. That our focus. That's why I want the guy. He said he's going. You know what I'm saying. But I just want to. The focus is gone.
Yeah, the focus is totally gone.
But I think this is what they wanted. The powers that be wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they wanted to go this way because I don't believe that you can win an election being stupid. What do I mean by that? You can denounce different things and you don't do it. You can say, I'm not racist and here's why. And you know what? These people, he's not going to, if you think Donald Trump is going to denounce, he have said that he's against, the KKK and all. He have said that, but he's not going to fully go in on and say things that's going to mess up those people who are voting for. He's just not going to do it. He's not going to do it.
But I mean, and again, this is a very interesting time that we're living in because demographically, as someone mentioned in our audience, that Blacks aren't even the number one minority. Hispanics have outgrown us, and so the demographic of America looks very different. And I think that I hate to say it, but the old white men who are used to being in power and that whole regime of power is being threatened. And because it's being threatened, you're seeing some very interesting dynamics at play. So I just think that these next 4 to 8 years are going to be very, and hopefully I'll live to see the outcome. But it's going to be very different. I mean, it has to be in order to represent what America looks like today. You can't have the same people who founded the freaking country. That thread of people still be the ones that are the decision makers, because America looks very, very different now. And what we value, I feel like we are transitioning. And Tone, I know you would say it's movement towards the new world order. And maybe, there will be this new world order, but what is the new order? You know what I'm saying? And what does that look like for America? And I think within this next decade, we're going to begin to see whatever that's going to look like. So either we're going to, live in fear because the old white men are now the minority population wise, and they're going to make it seem like we have to go back to what was in order to be safe so that they can protect their best interest, or we're going to move forward with diversity and new ideas and different set of values. I mean, just take a look at, like you say, from the 1994 war on crime, which disproportionately locked up a bunch of us, to now addiction is seen as a sickness.
Yeah.
As a sickness.
Yeah.
So it'll just be interesting, like you say, as just an objective, neutral participant in this, my own opinion set aside, I think it'll be interesting to see how this next decade plays out, and if America will choose to move truly move forward in the direction of what we now look like and value, or move forward in fear and hang on to the old values of the past.
That's right. I agree with you.
Right. Yeah.
So that's what it's about, guys. You know, we're just giving you what we believe. We're sharing it with you. What do you think about this election? Do you believe it's what you just whatever your beliefs is? I don't even want to put.
Yeah.
I don't even want to put in. I don't even want to put any thoughts in no one else's mind about what they should do. All I'm saying is just do what you feel is I mean, whatever you feel that should be done. I don't know what that means. Vote, not vote, whatever it means to you. But this, no matter what happens, make a decision to do something.
And y'all should vote. While y'all voting, y'all should wear some masks. Y'all, make sure y'all got your mask on. And we got some masks here over here. We selling, and they light up.
Okay.
I'm gonna show y'all in a minute. I'm gonna show you.
Yeah, we've got these masks and they light up. We've been getting a lot of people who's been wanting them.
Oh, they light up.
Yeah, they light up.
You know what? That was an idea I came across a long time ago. Like I'm not surprised to see it. Go ahead.
You see it?
So anybody, y'all see it?
Those are gonna be dope for Halloween. Yeah. You probably gonna see a lot of that.
For the holiday, I got some holiday ones coming in. So if anybody wants some of these masks, I got some coming in after October the 20th. So I'll let you guys know they'll be in. Y'all can get some.
They change all kind of colors though.
They change different colors.
Keep flicking like they'll go with green, red.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then
is it heavy? Is it? I mean, is it like battery operated? Is there a button? Like, how does that work?
It's USB. You can charge it.
Yeah, it's like a USB on the edge, and you plug it in and charge it. And not USB, but it's
this is a
what is that?
USB. Here.
Yeah, USB. Yeah, okay.
But the other ones are gonna be Bluetooth.
Yeah, we got some Bluetooth that's gonna be coming where it could say hello, Merry Christmas. It can say
wow.
Front, and we'll be selling them, guys. So
how much?
We're going to sell them for $25. How we got turned on to them because we bought when we was out of town. We went to Vegas and we went to this one spot and the guy was selling them, and that's what we bought ours for. You know what I mean, like 25.
Okay.
You know what I mean. So we're going to keep them at that same price. I mean, and you can keep them forever. I mean, the material is really thick. The design. Again, you could charge.
Is it washable? Probably not.
I don't know about the washable thing. I don't know about the washable. Maybe you could spray something in it and get it clean or whatever. On out. But it's the way it's padded. It's got a satin pad in the front and the behind it, and then it's got this other fabric. I don't know what that is.
So we actually got two sets coming. We got another set where you can move out the filter. You can put in a new like a cloth in there to put in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we got some different two choices that's gonna be coming.
But they dope though. I think they nice.
Yeah.
Time when you walk, man, we've gotten so many people who want those, or they'll stop us in when we're in the mall. Oh man, those are cool. Where you get them from? So it's they're really cool.
So if we want to buy one, what do we need to do?
Well, I mean, you can go. Our website gonna be all set and ready to go. For you can order online, or we can just meet. Our office is in Farmington Hills, Michigan.
Yes, yeah,
so I mean,
but other than that, they'll be online.
Yeah, be online. We can ship them out to you.
Yeah, we'll ship them out to you or whatever. Just when you order.
The Round Table website.
Oh no, it's not going to be on the Round Table website.
We should put it on the Round Table website.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, we'll get that all together.
Just so people know where they can go. Like if they like, oh yeah, I gotta get my hands on that. They want, just so people know where to go.
Definitely.
Yeah. So that's where they'll be able to. We put it all together. We got to put it all together. We actually waiting on the shipment, so get the shipment, so we won't just be throwing out something and we don't have the product. You know how it is across seas. There's lots of stuff going on, but we have a date that we'll get them shipped.
We'll be launching.
That they should be here, and then once we get them, we'll be able to know, and then put where the contact information of how you can get yours. But
people do pre-order.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, sometimes I get so paranoid. Well, what if they don't come? And you done already took their money. I guess I feel like I'm gonna wait until they get here.
Our shipment
And
to get here.
and I know that they're here, and I'll say, okay, yeah, you can get them now, and I don't have to pay you no money back because I don't want to give you your money back. You know what I mean?
Respect that. I respect that.
Yeah,
you all are good business people, so I'm sure you know.
Yeah, you gotta do it. Try to do it some kind of right way. But that's what's going on, guys. The election is coming up real soon. We'll see what the turnout. I mean, the turnout has actually been great. Actually, there's been a lot of people voting. I mean, a lot.
I know. That's my goal this week because I mean, I know it's been long lines across the country, and we ain't even at election day. Yeah. So I'm just gonna take my chances and make that my goal this week is to get it done. Yeah, you're gonna have to go. They said it was 12-hour waits in some states. I'm trying to tell you. 12 hours. They won't. They. I remember when Obama was running in 2008, and it was like I thought, I was astonished at how long the lines were. I mean, people was pulling out their camera. I had my phone camera out, like, look at these lines. So I think we're, like you said, we're seeing 12-hour waits. Come on. They for real. They for real on this one. They for real on this one. They want this guy. They for real. They bad. These people bad. This is their time to pay somebody back. So we learned a valuable lesson when Trump got in office. And, I will say this, I think there is a lesson to be learned in any situation. And so if it is in God's divine design, for, whatever to happen, there's always a lesson to be learned. And I think that when Trump won, that woke a lot of people up. So we are seeing folks who are like, I mean, even if you're for or against, you're either saying not this time, or you're saying we got to make sure because we know the other people going to be coming out. So either way, you got a lot of engagement. I'm very interested to see who wins. This is very interesting to me. I want to see. I want to see what happens. But I just, I don't want to say things on social media. But I digress. So guys, listen. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you watch this, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on the Roundtable official podcast, our website, whether it's Instagram, whatever you see on Instagram. Just check us out, guys. We come on every week. We've been off, but we come on every week at 4:30-ish. And that's about it, guys. That's about it. We love you. Yeah, it's just our opinion, guys. That's what you hear our opinion. Everybody's entitled to it. You're entitled to your opinion, just like we're entitled to ours. Don't hate us on our opinions. Can I give a quick shout out before we go ahead? Just a quick shout out. This is also this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but it's also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So I just want to give a shout out to both of those causes. They're equally important in terms of what's going on and what we need to be paying attention to. With COVID-19, we have a lot of situations where men and women are forced to be in situations. Those situations escalate, and people die. And so just want to give a shout out to that, and wishing everybody well. That's right. That's 100% right. So guys, listen, shout out to you guys. We love you. Comment even after this is over. Leave comments, and we still, if we see the comment, we can still address it or whatever it might be. But we've got about to end it. And we'll see you guys hopefully next week if God's willing. And nothing. It's been a lovely day. As long as the purge haven't happened,
long as it won't be the purge. You know, they've been talking about the purge.
Oh yeah,
They've been talking about the purge a lot
So
with
y'all
this election. They've been connecting the purge and this election together. It's been
Oh
terrible.
my God.
Yeah, they really have.
So y'all better be
Yeah,
ready.
so,
If Trump don't win, we're gonna see something of the likes of a purge.
Well, I don't know. Listen, you
I
I mean,
heard
is that the commentary? Okay, that's next
yeah,
week,
that's a
y'all.
whole nother. Jesus, that's a whole nother.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we just heard. I think we just heard Puffy make a quote.
yeah, Puffy said if he reelected, it's gonna be a as they said, race war.
It's going to be some things going on. I don't want to get dropped from the show.
If he's not reelected, one of those, I don't know.
It's
But anyway,
we'll
talk about it.
We don't condone any violence or anything.
No, we don't. No, we don't. We want everybody to have a what, Lady B?
A lovely day.
Lovely day. Lovely day. Lovely day.
That's right. I feel you. All right, well, we'll talk to you guys next week and out. We're out.